500 likes if you believe. This first video had such a slow start that I almost started rethinking my choices. Maybe I'm getting too old for this. I took some time with myself, looked in the mirror to see the ugly, the person that I have become. And now you might be thinking, all that for choosing a video I didn't think was good enough. But then, as the journey continued, the investigator went deep. He went so deep, I felt like he touched the sensitive area. At first, he heard a noise coming from inside the room he was about to enter. I didn't understand what it was or what the source was. Even after he replayed the clip 3 times, slowed it down, and zoomed in, I still had no idea. So it was either the video or me. At least he showed us his arm, trying to tell us that he got goosebumps. At that point, I was rethinking again about the video. Depression got into me, and I looked in the mirror to see the ugly yet again. And before I commit suicide, here comes some real paranormal activity that will change my view of this video forever. It seems like I was going through a lot emotionally with this one. A bottle sliding across the table, hitting the wall at full speed, then falling down to the rough concrete floor. Was that fall so dramatic? Yes, but the activity wasn't. What was so paranormal to me is the fact that this bottle didn't shatter or break was something out of this world. Let's call the investigator Robin. Robin gave the stupidest reaction ever. Instead of running or stepping closer, he went on fixing his flashlight. He ignited the electricity specialist inside of him all of a sudden. At the beginning of the video, there was a statue with a broken head, and out of nowhere, its head was somehow fixed. Now, what I'm about to say is a little controversial, but inside one of the rooms Rob entered, in which he was trapped with a cross falling in full drama mode, on the wall there was a poster of Jesus. Here is the controversial part. I think these posters Christians make of Jesus look terrifying and uneasy. Now here comes my Christian priest neighbor, shouting at me with words even Satan is shy of saying.
Lá, escutei. Tem alguma coisa aí? E olha aqui, ó. Opa. Enfim. Ai, minha nossa. Ai, minha nossa, olha isso. Olha isso. Ai. Cara, isso me arrepia. Isso me arrepia, pessoal. Opa. Olha isso, cara. Olha isso, cara. Olha aqui o jeito que eu fiquei, ó. Olha aqui o jeito que eu fiquei, ó. Olha aqui enrugando o couro, ó. Olha enrugando o couro aqui na frente de vocês, ó. Cara, é impressionante. É impressionante, cara. Opa. Opa. Minha nossa. Olha isso, cara. E a lanterna veio falhar bem agora. Cara do céu, você é louco? Cara, você é louco? Cara, impressionante, pessoal. Impressionante, olha isso. Olha isso. Ai, minha nossa. Opa! Cara, olha aquilo. Olha essa cabeça. Olha lá, cara, voltou. Olha aquilo, pessoal. Foi tudo aí. Opa! Cara do céu! Cara, apagou de novo a lanterna aqui, ó. Olha isso. Oi. Cara, eu vi algo aqui ao lado. Eu vi algo aqui ao lado, pessoal. Opa. Cara, dá uma olhada nisso. E a lanterna falhando aqui, pessoal. Cara, cê é louco. Opa. Olha aquilo, pessoal. Ai, minha nossa. Olha isso aqui, pessoal. Cara, impressionante. Você é louco? Cara, é um obscuro lugar. Eu tô finalizando o vídeo aqui, ok, pessoal? Até a próxima. Com mais um Memória Sobrenatural.
I just want to see one person saying that the closet was dragged using an invisible string. How can a string be that strong? In fact, I want to see that muscular dude pulling the string. I want to see his sexy muscles flexing while he is pulling the strings in slow motion. Maybe it's been a decade since the last time I have started my list with a short video. That's the best intro I could think of before I begin slapping her from the back. And before giving you a very helpful description of what's coming. It's gonna be a very beautiful baby who will grow up and begin his journey searching for his father. Talking about fathers, here in the next video, we have a father or a pope. It's up to you how you would like to call him. Since he is in a church, let's call him a pope. Even if he is not, today he will be called that. This pope just discovered that his phone has a camera, and the first thing he captured was what looked like a shadow figure passing on the wall. Lucky old man.
Not sure, but I think I just saw a shadow walk across the wall.
I don't know why a man like him, on the verge of his life, who's one sniff away from a stroke, why would he stage such a thing? I'm not sure if it's staged or not, but this man couldn't have enough reasons to fake it. Some time ago, and I'm not sure how long it has been, but it must have been 10 months at this point. So, what is it that happened 10 months ago? What did I do back then? Well, here is a thing I don't really remember. But in all seriousness, I have featured a guy who works as a security guard in this weird facility. And this facility should have been closed since that time. Which time? That freaking time we just talked about at the very beginning. Anyways, ever since, the activity has escalated with Mike. Now who in the world is Mike? Before I answer, how stupid do you have to be to ask this question? Mike is, of course, our security guard. As Mike was walking in the hallway, he walked the whole way. You get it? A hallway and the whole way. That's why I was divorced and never been able to bond with any women for 10 years. So as Mike was walking, the lights flickered. So that's the paranormal activity enhancement that I was talking about. I was actually talking about your family at that point. Here comes the fun part. While Mike was inside one of these rooms alone, he locked himself there for some masturbating reasons. The cabinet in front of him was about to fall, but he had fast reflexes. When Mike was in the toilets, because he couldn't find enough privacy in that room, the door in front of him opened. which gave Mike some flashbacks of the days when his father used to open the door on him to check if he was watching something adulty so he could watch with him, and inside one of the bathrooms, and now I'm talking about the facility activity. Behind one of the doors, some beautiful legs can be seen. Later on, a black dude, who was supposed to be a jinn, was all the way at the end of the hallway. Last but not least, a Mexican. I mean, a mannequin fell by itself.
I have to get rid of this thing tonight. Oh. Night 13. I was investigating a water leak and had tracked the source to a damaged AC system in this abandoned unit. The entity manifests near the end of the video.
Who's there?
I was hurt during this encounter. This is not the same entity. It's not her.
Hello? What the fuck? Whoa. Hello? Who's there? Hello?
I liked Mike more the first time I have featured him. Back then it was more believable to me. We all know that these beautiful white legs were the mannequins, and the black shadow figure is a black dude, so he can end slavery. I have heard that ghosts can possess people. I have heard that they can attack them. I have heard that they can even become best friends. But when I heard that last one, I started questioning the credibility of my friend who told me all this info. Then I started doing research on him, only to find that he escaped the asylum 2 years ago. But the more shocking information I found was that I'd been deaf for just as long. Then how did I hear him? Back to the paranormal documentary. It's called The Entity. That's what they call her, or what they call it. We start with our host, who says all the important keywords trending in horror niche on YouTube. He introduces us to the 2 main researchers, but we only get to see one of them, Carrie Gator. Carrie went to the house where this entity is said to be hunting a girl. Carrie asked the girl what kind of activities she had witnessed. She said that she was raped. She almost abused the entity and charged it to pay for her rights after the divorce. Now the real question is, what did the team of investigators capture? It goes like this: the haunted girl, and let's call her Solly. Solly starts screaming, claiming that the ghost is standing in the corner, but when the team comes in, they see nothing. So they take a photo of the corner she is pointing at, forgetting the flash is still on, and then they find the photos fully bleached out. Then, when they remember to turn the flash off and retake the photos, the pictures come out clean. But since Solly told them at the second take that the ghost is gone, they called it a phenomenon. Even Dick couldn't explain it. And I'm not talking about someone's penis, a photographer named Dick. They also captured weird artifacts, which they called paranormal. Approved by Frank, the author of the inspired movie The Entity.
In the quest for evidence, 2 researchers from UCLA got more than they bargained for. Carrie Gaynor and Dr. Barry Taff were witness to one of the most celebrated cases in ghost hunting history, the Entity case. It was later popularized in a book and a film called The Entity. But what the real investigators found when they met the victim of the haunting was more bizarre and more compelling than any movie.
When I went over to her house, we conducted about a 2-hour interview, and during that time, she told us a lot of interesting experiences, but I knew she was holding something back. And at the end of the interview, she finally admitted to us that she was attacked and raped by the ghost. At that time, we thought she was probably crazy.
The events that then transpired over the next 10 weeks were chronicled in the Journal of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, including the night the investigators went from being skeptics to true believers.
The lady screamed out, "It's in my bedroom." We ran in there. She shouted out, "It's over in the corner." We fired our Polaroid camera in the direction that she said. We didn't see anything, but the picture came out bleached out white completely. She shouted out again, "It's in the corner." Again, we fired our camera, and it was bleached out completely. At that point, I thought the camera was just malfunctioning. I waited till she said it was gone, and I took 2 control pictures. Those pictures are perfectly normal pictures. The only difference, she said it was in the corner in the first ones, and in these, she said it was gone. A few moments later, we felt a cold breeze of air coming through the door, accompanied by a horrible stench, a stench so foul, some people were vomiting. We fired the camera in the direction that breeze was flowing towards us, and again, the picture was bleached out completely, except at the bottom of the doorway, you can see a little round ball of light. A few minutes later, she screamed out, "It's right in front of my face." We fired the camera, and the face was completely obliterated. But you can see the curtains behind her, You could see her dress. She shouted out again, it's right in front of my face. Again, the face is completely obliterated. Now, those were her exact words. It's right in front of my face. Once again, I wanted a control picture. I waited till she said it was gone, and I took the final picture. And this is a perfect, normal picture. It's just dark because we didn't adjust the setting. There's a scratch on it, which we put on it when we tried to clean it a little bit. But otherwise, it's a normal picture. The only difference between these two, in one, she said it was in front of my face. In the other one, she said it was gone.
Even with these pictures, Gaynor still had trouble convincing his colleagues at UCLA that he was on to something significant.
Initially, they would say, well, you're hallucinating. So then I would look at them and say, well, we've got 20 witnesses. And they would say, well, then it's obviously mass hallucination.
Gaynor returned to the house a number of times, bringing more witnesses with him, and the eerie phenomenon became even more pronounced.
We started seeing balls of light lighting up the walls, and everybody in the room would see this. And the lights would get bigger and bigger and brighter and brighter. And at some point, I finally started talking to it. And I said, well, if you're really here, come off the wall. Because what I was concerned was that somebody in the room was faking it, and they were projecting the light onto the wall. Well, when I asked that question, the light lifted off the wall, floated into the middle of our room, started spinning and twisting and expanding in different directions simultaneously. It had full parallax. We could see it from all sides, and I had 9 professional photographers set up in the room that were shooting it from all sides.
The lights came in, it was like, it almost come in like in a state of anger. It almost came in, all right, here I am, this is me. And it came in and it kind of did a little thing in the group, and then it was gone.
It was the most extraordinary thing we've ever come across. It happened over and over again. We experienced a plethora of phenomena during that investigation.
The part that interested me the most was the fact that what we saw, we were able to get on film.
The photographers at that session had only limited success capturing the entity on film, with one notable exception.
What we see here are reverse arcs of light. One arc goes right here, another arc goes right here. Now, the reason this picture is so important to us is that the arc on the wall, if it were really on the wall, would be bent, because those 2 walls there are perpendicular. It's not bent, which means the arc is floating in space. The significance of that for us as researchers is, of course, that means it's dimensional and very, very difficult to fake. This was not somebody with a flashlight shining it on a wall. That light is in empty space.
The negative of this photo was authenticated by Popular Photography and was the only alleged ghost photo ever published in the magazine. Frank DeFelitta, the author of Audrey Rose, was also witness to the phenomena. His incredible first-hand experience in the Culver City, California house inspired him to write The Entity, which was later made into a motion picture.
All the instruments started clicking away. So I knew everyone was seeing this at the same time that I was. And we were ducking, and everyone was saying, oh my God, look at that, oh my God. And then Doris started screaming. That was the woman who was being belabored by this creature. Started screaming, I don't want to see your lights, show us yourself. Damn you, show us yourself. Started cursing and swearing at it. And there, lo and behold, at that point, it started to appear. It sort of developed a kind of, it was a kind of arm was articulated. You could see sort of like an arm, and then a neck. And then of all things, a kind of bald head. Now this could have been our imagination, but collectively we saw the same thing, every one of us. We saw the same thing.
But we don't consider our pictures proof of anything. We consider them part of the struggle to gather evidence to try to understand this phenomenon. During our investigations, we spend thousands of hours trying to be in the right place at the right time. In the Entity case, for some reason, we were there. We were there at the right time. And we were experiencing the phenomena over and over again. Although some of the people there found it frightening, I found it very exciting and exhilarating. That's what I'm in this for. It's an opportunity to witness things that we've been taught all our life cannot be.
I like how the author had to be interviewed to be asked about the activity they have witnessed. He wrote the freaking movie, which means he had to over-exaggerate everything in order to make the movie more interesting. Then what do you think he would say in this case? Usually, when events such as the ones in the next clip happen, it usually happens in Ohio. the state where stupid people have different levels of stupidity, the state which comes immediately after New York in terms of importance to aliens, so when they feel bored of the city that never cheap, they go to Ohio. But the next event will take place in North Georgia woods on the 4th of July. And for those who somehow don't know, this date is a day of independence in my life. I mean, in the US. So we have 2 men. Did I say men? What I should have said was 2 little kids in the bodies of young men, the age of teenagers, with the bodies of males in their 20s. How about I also tell you their blood type? These 2 were trying to celebrate the 4th of July with some fireworks in the woods. They had a wacky build-up for the main plot. After they started playing, a loud growling can be heard. It sounded like a dinosaur from Jurassic Park. So I thought we were about to see a velociraptor in a moment. But unfortunately, the budget wasn't as high as my expectations. Some dude, covered with red paint and half naked, screaming and running like a zombie, started chasing these 2.
Dude,
Yeah, let's send him off.
happy 4th.
Happy 4th indeed.
Lighters up.
Are you an idiot? Watch out. That's pretty cool, man.
I wanted it to go up in the air, man.
It was still cool. Yeah. But. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
You go first.
Oh, fuck
It's
you.
a farm animal.
I don't like this.
Good luck, good luck.
What do you think it is?
Turn the flash on.
No. Whatever it is, I want to fucking see it. What is that?
Should I throw a firework at it?
Let's try to see what that is. What the hell, man? You ready me to go first? Oh, fuck. What is that? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? What is that? Dude, what is that? We need to get the hell out of here. I'm not getting near that. I'm not getting near that. Dude, we gotta get the hell out of here.
Throw a firework at it?
No. Run. We get the hell out of here. Oh, yeah, get it. We need to get the car.
Go get it. Go see
We
if
need to
it's
get the car.
injured. No, go see if it's injured.
We need to get the car.
Dude, this is Snap Gold. Go get it.
Should be kidding me.
Yeah, and then you got the phone.
Dude, what? Is it still there?
Go! No!
Run! Run! We gotta take the car. What the hell? What the hell?
I think these 3 were watching too many horror movies the other night, or they were playing too many zombie video games. Regardless of the scenario that took place the other night, it definitely got into their heads, which led them to create this sketch. I mean, to record this very terrifying real creature that the government somehow hasn't found out about yet, but 2 random fellas were able to get on camera. The government is also yet to find out if you have subscribed and watched the next video on your screen.